Hello, all my horror fans. Welcome back to Hermione's Horror Reviews. On this channel, I do horror book hauls, horror book reviews, both digital and physical media, audiobooks, and so much more. Sorry, I burped a little bit. Alright, I've got two reviews today, so happy Thursday. I hope all of you had a great one. I got some wonderful news. Next year, I'm flying down to Florida and going to Walt Disney World. So I'm super excited about that. So excited. Oh, very good. All right. So since it now do its thing, The Watchers by um, A.M. Shine. So I'm just going to use the thing because it's less bright, and I want you to be able to see it. Okay, so The Watchers. So I saw this book. I know I mentioned this in one of my videos, but I saw this book over at Barnes & Noble. I first saw it on Amazon, and then I saw it on Barnes & Noble, or at Barnes & Noble's bookstore. I actually have The Watchers in my cart. I got 54 horror and thriller books. Depending on how much money I've got left after I pay my rent portion and get my deep freezer, which I really do need to get, and pay the gas electric bill and help my brother buy food, I will probably downsize that down to, to maybe like, I don't know, $100, $200. I don't really know. But anyways, so in this one, in all honesty, I don't even know where the Watchers appear at all. I read this book. I finished this book at work. I'm like, where are the Watchers at in this book? And why is it they don't have medical supplies? I don't understand that. I do not understand that. So, even though I enjoyed this book a lot, I thought this book was great. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. I honestly don't know where the Watchers are at. I mean, are they the people in the book or what? I don't know. I'm gonna have to use Wikipedia to find out if the Watchers are the people or if they're just like an invisible thing that people think exists. Anyways, despite not really knowing who the Watchers are, I did enjoy this book. I really did. It was a really great thriller. I think it's a thriller. I like this book so much. Next week, when I get my last paycheck from Five Guys, I'm actually going to get the sequel to the story. So, yay! I do plan on to read the sample of The People Across the Street, and if I do happen to like that one, I will go ahead and also get it next week, unless it's on Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited. But anyways, liked the book, thought it was great, definitely worth the time. Alright, and then the next book that I just finished reading is Secret Santa by Andrew Schaefer. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So this is an interesting story. So this is one of 2 horror books that I told you guys, I believe last month, that I was going to read. I bought this book last month. I was like, hey, yeah, I know it's not Christmas time yet, but I was like, hey, I'm going to give this book a chance. And it just blew me away about how good this book happens to be. So it's about a woman called hold on. Let's see here. Lucius? I cannot pronounce her name. Meyer, and she has recently become a editor or a proofreader at this Blackstone building. It's a publishing house and everything. And there's a total of about 39 chapters in this book. And what happens is she originally goes there when Xavier Blackwood or Blackstone is the publisher, or the head honcho. And what ends up happening is he goes and he dies. Well, he dies without really telling her that she got the job. So his son takes over as the big boss and hires her to find the next Stephen King. So as she is going about her day, trying to fulfill the promise that she made to the son, she gets a box, and this box has a doll in it. This doll is the same doll, or same kind of doll, that Hitler had. Now, there is, so put this down for a little bit, I want to say this. There is a photo of Hitler with this mandrake. It was a man, it's basically, in the shape of a human being. And it supposedly gave him the power to rule things. But what he ended up doing was he ended up killing the creator of the doll. And he told them that if you kill me, the Third Reich is going to fall. And sure enough, it did. So, a little history about about Hitler. Anyways, so basically, this doll is the source of all of this publishing house's success. It doesn't have to do anything to make money. So what happens is, I believe she allowed a book called, it's like Satan's Lullaby. I believe that's the name of the book that she allowed to be published. And these employees of this publishing house does not like that. You gotta remember, this is during the time, not only was horror really big, but also the Satanic Panic was a big thing. And so they basically tie her down, and they basically is like, you have been doing this filth and all that type of stuff. So she actually encounters the author of Graveyard Dirt, which is going to be the book that's going to be published. And what basically happens is that he explains that Hitler had this doll, and also talked about the Nazis and their obsession with the occult, things that we now know to be historical fact. They were absolutely obsessed with the occult. And what happens is, this doll basically is the kind of doll that Hitler had, and it's made him a ton of money. So what basically happens is, she's trying to capture this doll to kind of end what's going on. And what ends up happening is, the son actually finds out about the doll, and the doll does not like him. He does not like this kid at all. He likes her. He likes her a lot. And what ends up happening is, she ends up becoming the boss. She ends up becoming the owner of the doll, and all that type of stuff. And then it kind of ends in a weird thing. It's like she becomes the boss. Decades later, we go to, like, I believe it's 2019. I believe it's 2019. Hold on. It might be 2012. Oh, it's 2019. Okay. So 2019, she is definitely a lot older, way older, and of course she kind of passes away. So anyways, so I gave this 5 stars on Goodreads. It's a really, really, really great book, and I loved it. Alright, now that my reviews of those books are over, this is the next book that I'm reading, and is Quarter to Midnight by Tracy Coates. This is a collection of short stories. I am going to try to read a single story a day. I will not do any kind of reviews of each individual story, but I will, of course, review it once it's over. And then, of course, after that, I will switch over to my Nook, and I will read the second book that Simone St. James brought out. But among the 54 books that I have in my cart, the next 2 by Simone St. James is also on there. So I am super excited about getting those books. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens when the time comes. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Ouch. I will be back on Saturday to do a wrap-up of the books that I've read in the horror genre, and I will see you guys then. Bye.